Hello everybody and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here, definitely not late at all, and we're going to play some North Seat. This is episode 11. We're over the hump, if there was a hump, and we're working our way towards the end of the season. Here with me is our full cast and crew, so let's start with Mr. Ginger Ninja. Who are you, where can we find you on the internet, and who are you playing today?
I'm Extras Ginger Ninja everywhere. I'm pretty excited for this week. I'm going to be reprising my role as Ren, the witch, with her best buddy Salim. He's a guy that tags along, and Cardis, who's tall and she's great, guys.
Wow.
And this one time she was in a band.
Wow, I wish I had a best friend like Celine. Speaking of, Bird, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And who are you playing today?
I am Bird versus Plane. I'll be playing Salim, the keeper of the witch Rin, and a Maritime keeper, which in D&D 5e terms is a celestial warlock, who, as I said, hangs with his best buddy Ren and his new friend Cardis. And I think I've named everyone he's met of importance.
Perfect. Great. That's my favorite.
No. There was that bear that we killed.
Oh yeah, that bear was awesome.
Like
You're currently wearing a part of it.
I hate both of them.
I still think of him every day when I look at my left shoulder.
Yeah.
Hopefully someone likes Vestian. And hopefully that someone is Madfish. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And who are you playing today?
I'm Madfish Monger. I am I'm Madfish Monger on the internet, and I'm playing Cardis. And Cardis does actually like Vestian. Cardis likes pretty much everybody.
Well, don't water it down.
She's out.
And yeah, she was in a band. Yeah, she's definitely been in a few bands, actually. She's kind of her own band, really.
Damn it.
I kind of feel like metal, like guitar riffs just kind of happen when she like enters a room.
Just around her at all times?
Yeah. Like she doesn't have to play them, they just sort of
You know those things you like pull a chord and then like everything moves and it like like the one man band, except you're so tall that you fit more instruments vertically.
Yeah, exactly. Because she is a 7'9" tiefling, or odd blood, as they're called in the North Seed, and a titan. So, yes, and the art that Robot did for the it's so good, it's so perfect. It's just exactly her. It looks so great.
Nice. Speaking of Ethan, someone who definitely doesn't like Vestian and loves to pile the torture on, Ethan, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And tell us about the North Seat.
I like all my characters who are playing. You guys are all great.
Sure.
I don't think I get to say that enough on stream. I love playing with you guys. I'm Ethan. I run this campaign because I wrote it. That's sort of how it happened.
Nailed it. Put that on a business card.
But the North Sea is a unique setting for the 5th edition's Dungeons & Dragons. It is a module you can currently purchase 2 parts of. I don't know if you hit the button. And it's a lot of fun. We've been playing through books 1 and 2, speeding right along, and adventure's been happening. And by adventure, I mean you guys getting murdered a lot.
That's true. That's true. And if you guys want to get your hands on book 1 and book 2, it is available on that link. Also available on that link in the future, soon, trademark, is book 3, which Ethan is currently putting the final touches on. While you're looking at that link, please go check out our sponsor, the Dice of Rolling. They are a full set of polyhedral dice with optimized quantities and fun colors for D&D 5e. Christmas is around the corner, and those 30-some-odd dice will make a great stocking stuffer for the nerd in your family or friend group. Also, the last thing I have to say, or the second last thing I have to say, is there is a unique donation link down below for all the donations you can do to affect this particular game. And if you want to help get these beautiful faces paid, go check out our Patreon. That's the entire goal there, is to pay the casts now and in the future. So definitely go check that out. And with that, Ethan, take us back into hell, the North Seat, North Sate. That's what I said.
So I have a question for you guys.
Damn it.
Do you want to cut back to you guys returning to town, like returning to Hostad, or do you want to talk through some Hoxyord stuff first?
Oh yeah, because we were like, we don't even know how we got there. I guess Ren knows how we got there, right?
Yeah.
To this library because we were high on
Yeah.
mushrooms.
I just wondering, like, where do we want to cut back into the episode? Like, do we want to?
Maybe a conversation and then cut back to town because we didn't talk to the
Okay.
what's the guy's name?
Yeah, because we just killed that dude, and we have no idea if that fixed the problem or what it did.
Cyril,
Okay.
the keeper, and Zaya, the head witch.
Yes.
Yes.
Look at you taking notes.
All right, so let's cut back to you guys kind of like return to that room. Because some of you are not looking too healthy. You're all tired.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
all beaten up a little bit, out of spells. And when you guys arrive, they both kind of like look at you and they're like, "What did you do?" What?
What do you mean?
Sahia kind of like looks at you. Something changed.
We killed a guy.
Did he have anything on him?
Yes, we recovered something from him. It's a. Notice anything new about our friend here?
Yeah.
Ooh.
He's got an eye for nice things.
Did you?
Wow.
That's a good one. That's a
Sahia
very
kind of like leans like way into Vestin's personal space to look at the eye.
Yeah.
Did you absorb it?
Well, it wasn't in my eye, and then it was my eye. So
Have you tried using it?
as an
Can you call
eye,
upon it?
no, I can't see anything out of it. It's a giant fire in my
No.
head.
Can you call upon the fire?
I don't know. What should it be able to do?
I don't. I assume if it's anything like what to Miss Wren, you should be able to control some amount of it.
I can try.
Do like a real sultry wink, but in like a corner where no one's standing, just to see. Just a.
And he winks the fire eye.
Would you like to activate it?
It didn't do anything.
No,
yeah, you told me it does stuff. And then you
It
sent
can cast
me...
two cantrips and a spell.
Yeah. You want to send me
Um,
that thing again?
It should be
In that
in
list.
Relics and Curios. It should be under Cinder.
Cinder, yeah.
Cinder. Nailed it. Yeah, I can do produce flames and warming and then burning hands. Yeah. Okay. So
I'd love for you to wink and burning hands comes out of it.
no. So yeah, kind of. So he like looks at he like. So Salim says go in a corner and wink, and at first he winks the wrong eye, like he winks the flame eye, and he's like, nothing's happening. I still can't see out of it. What do you got, Salim? Is that not what you said?
No, try the other one. Do the inverse eye.
And as soon as he winks the other eye, I produce flame, and it's the when you throw the flame, and just a fireball winks out of his eye. He's like, what happened? I winked. I couldn't see out of that eye.
Ow.
It was a little fire.
My eye was a little fire. I mean, it's a whole. My whole eye is a fire. Yeah. No, I get it.
No, like out.
Like
Oh, I shot a,
lasers. Like pew!
like I shot a fire out of my eye.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty damn cool.
There's no clay dog cool, but it's pretty
No, not at all. But a
don't-
close one.
I feel like you're messing with me.
See,
Wink at your hand.
I'm confused.
Did I shoot a fireball out of my eye?
You've absorbed this thing, the cinder,
Okay.
as we were calling it,
Sure.
and the weight disappeared.
The what disappeared?
We spoke of a lodestone.
Oh, you did speak of a stone. I remember that.
That must be it. Which makes sense. It is made of pure essence. It's pure element. You absorbed the idea of fire upon you.
Oh.
Was this taught in school?
The idea of raw elements, yes. The ability that you could absorb one, probably not.
Yeah, she asks that out loud.
No, it's something we've been researching since we found it.
Good. Because I don't remember that.
You don't
In
remember
my-
a lot of things I've taught you.
She tries her best, all right?
Do you have a clay hand, lady? You see her standing in the back.
I don't have time for this. If the weight's gone, we might be able to pull people back safer now.
I mean, I hate to be that guy again, but if we did just save the entire island, I feel like you have all the time in the world for this, since we just saved, like, everyone's life.
They aren't awake yet.
Well, we got 90% of the way there, right?
What can we do to help bring them back?
I don't know. I think you have done all you can. Did you? But you're right. We should be a little more accommodating. You came here for information?
Yes.
What would you like to know?
Well, I have a fire eye now. She has
Yes.
a clay hand. And she has the Lord's eyeball.
That I don't quite understand.
Oh,
That's
also,
that's a little unrelated.
the whole us killing the speaker in a dream thing, and the earth crumbling and the water filling. You know, just that stuff.
I honestly can't tell you, but I agree with you. It's related,
Well, I knew that.
but you mentioned you killed somebody.
Yeah, the speaker of earth. Oh, wait.
No, in the library.
It's an elderly man.
Did you give his name?
Salim, I feel like you were paying attention to what he was prattling on about before he made the molten corpse pile attack us.
I think, I'm sorry, I believe I was coming down from a journey to a new dimension. Let's just say that.
That's true.
Thomas?
Rodolph.
Rem did make us eat
Rodolph.
mushrooms.
What did I do?
Made us eat mushrooms.
I didn't make you do anything.
Well,
Oh, I didn't share this with you guys. I'm going to share this with you now.
Also, can I share what I found in that room with this lady?
The sword or what?
No, I gathered some of the stuff off the table in the room that we found the corpse in.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know she needed any of it.
She's like, oh, thank you. I think I could use quite a few of these things. I was running low on supplies.
Okay.
We did find someone in that. We killed this old man. His name was Rodolph, and he mentioned knowing Destian's father, Torek.
that's true. I remember that. I listened to that part.
Yes, you're always paying close attention to everything.
Thank you.
That name sounds familiar.
I mean, he lived here on your island, I assume.
No, he didn't.
I mean,
She kind of looks to Cyril.
he was definitely here on this
Was-
island.
Wasn't he executed?
He did
And
say
Cyril
he did say
kinda
something
looks
about
back.
forgetting his name or something.
Now that you mention it, yes, he did something awful. They executed him in Hostad.
Well, Dish, what did you do?
Some sort of atrocities, experimentation with dreams, experimentation with dreams of others. He was an academist, and typically academics who tamper with dreams are that's not a thing you want to do. Rings aren't meant to be understood.
Gotcha. Important question here. We think that what's been going on the island is related to this artifact that Vestian has absorbed. Now that it's, inside of him,
Yeah.
is it going to cause any issues? Like blow him up at some point? Spontaneous combustion? Or is it kind of just okay for now?
I appreciate your concern, Salim.
I don't want to be around you if you're going to blow up.
What about her?
Sahia kind of takes a look at both of you. It might be able to be slowed down.
The blowing up?
No, not the blowing up.
Oh. That
The-
happens at a medium pace. Great.
The having your body slowly turned into the element.
I'm sorry. You want to say that again? Hey, Ren. We might want to perk up on this one.
Huh?
I think if I'm understanding the Queen of Witches here, she's saying that eventually...
There's no hierarchy here, or patriarch, or matriarch. or anything like that.
Either way, she's saying that I'm going to become all fire everywhere, and you're going to become all clay everywhere.
My God, you know what this means, Ren. You'll be able to look like anything you want.
Right?
That's fantastic.
I feel like that's not what that means.
Oh my God, I could turn into a bear and beat the crap out of Vestian again.
Oh, it's all working out
Just
splendidly.
go in his room, just like in the middle of the night, though.
How did you deal with
At
both for
the
years?
witching hour.
I don't.
You kicked them off the island, didn't you? It wasn't they didn't leave
Sure.
of their own choice.
What?
Cyril, while they're not looking and bantering, he just kind of gives you like a very curt nod.
You have cursed my people with a plague.
After all these years of wondering what my skills were, behold! And she just holds up a blobby hand that
dog.
looks like it's melting.
When you hold up your hand,
Damn
Zahia
it.
grabs it. And then you can see her hand charged with energy, and she wraps it around your bicep. And you feel a sting. Like a booster shot.
That's not gonna get rid of my hand, is it?
No, but it should help.
Help with what? Make it spread faster. Okay.
Yes. Vestian?
Liam, I told you she wasn't that bad.
Did you do that to Vestian too?
No, she's like asking for permission, basically.
I'm sorry. It makes me not turn into fire sooner.
It should, yes. Yours might hurt a little more.
Just to be clear, what's the chances this works? And what happens if it doesn't work?
Is he an anti-vaxxer? What is up with Vestian right now?
Listen, if I know the negative so far is I turn into living fire, can it get worse?
I will mention
Yeah.
that the transformation is mostly intentional.
I just
Like
decide
the
to turn into
person
fire.
chooses?
Just if you want to become fire, you will, or if you need to, or
Oh, so it's not all the time.
potentially. This is something we've been studying. We're not entirely sure, but and then she takes Vestian's arm and just does the same thing.
No,
It's right where like there was a glowing vein.
woman.
Baby Cardis.
And if you look at it, there's like a little room there now.
For a
What
second,
the-
I imagined a tiny room, like in a house, just there, and I was like, "That's not right. That's not what he meant." You can't just stab people. I appreciate you asking, but you jumped in there.
It's because you're taking much too long. Now,
Whatever.
if you wouldn't mind, I would like you all to leave.
Wait.
Cyril and I have already discussed that you have
We've heard
permission.
this speech before, Ren. Yes.
No, wait.
But this time we did something good.
Cyril and I had discussed it while you were gone, but we want you to see this through, whatever this is.
Yeah, but you didn't help at all. We came here seeking aid, and you didn't help at all. In fact,
You gave us a new job.
In fact, we helped you, and you didn't do anything for us.
I do believe you have the answer in your pocket.
What?
Appropriate.
Then he reaches into his pocket, and what's in my pocket?
If you guys will remember last time, you guys found a map with other locations marked on it of places that...
That's true.
Yeah.
Ren does not remember this map.
I do now remember that map. Okay, so if you're not going to help us with the whole Speaker of the Sea and Speaker of Earth situation, or any of these things that we have in our various persons...
I don't know what you're expecting us to know.
I don't know anything. Can you at least tell us who that guy was?
You're gonna have to ask her on Hostad.
Damn it.
If I could, I think Vestian, what he's trying to say is, what are we getting out of doing this?
Well, it appears
kind of
that
hurried out of here last time.
it does appear that the entire like metaphysical world is slowly sinking into the ground, into the dream.
Right, so you guys, which are like here to prevent magical catastrophes, do you have anything that can help us with that?
Aside from me,
Besides from the two of them.
I'm gonna consult my notes real
we
quick.
pretty much run this place. We left of our own volition when we left. It was, we
Yes, I
bigger,
believe we
better
left
things. Now
because
we're gonna save the world.
Well, why did we leave again? Because we solved every problem they had here. That's why.
Exactly.
I don't believe any of the words you're actually saying right now.
Every problem they had.
I just look at Vestian and I'm like, just nod and smile.
I feel like we helped you get here.
Who did? The boat got me here. I was rowing the entire time, if you don't recall.
She just returns her gaze over to her old queen, as Vestian calls her. Do you have anything that I could maybe, like cool ancient relics to fight things with, or like things to like pew pew, like anything?
You have a clay hand.
Yeah. I'm not a children's arts and crafts station.
You literally are.
I don't know what you're expecting of us.
No,
Honestly, we're in the dark as much as you are. We will be researching. We will find out. And you mentioned you believe there might have been some sort of exchange between the two speakers. I think you might be onto something. If you found one of these stones in the Speaker of Earth.
Well, we found a stone. It was blue, and someone jammed it into their head.
From the sounds of it, it might also be a source stone.
Well, they didn't shoot water out of anything, so I can't be sure. They just took it and smashed it into her forehead. And then she said, "Oh no."
You do also know that she gained some control over water.
Oh, did she? I totally
as she was playing around with it.
Oh, right.
But you didn't find the Earth Stone inside the Speaker of Water.
Well, the temple crashed into the ocean.
Which is very curious.
So we didn't find anything because the sea is cursed.
I think that might have been intentional.
Intentional? By who?
I don't know.
I've never been rewarded with more questions.
Well,
It is very challenging, yes. I don't truly know what it is that we should be doing, but I know that we must try to do something. We can't be dragged into the dream. That would be...
at that point, because you guys mentioned a reward a couple times, Cyril comes in with, like, he'd left the conversation for a bit, and he comes back and just, like, puts a bag down on the table in front of you guys.
Nice bag.
Take them.
The bag?
You may have the bag as well,
Oh,
but inside are probably what you want.
great.
Stuff in the bag.
More bags.
I have that bag when you're done with it, Vestian.
Yes, you can have this
Okay.
one bag when I'm done with it. And he just takes the bag without looking at it and slings it over his shoulder. And it says, okay.
You hear the clunk of gourds.
Oh, cool. And he says, all right, we're leaving. Just out of curiosity, you don't have, like, anti-sea monster potions or something?
The dumbest thing he's said yet.
Seriously.
We get attacked by a sea monster on the way over here.
But potions? Come on.
I don't know.
Repellent.
A scroll
How much
of
water it would have to disperse in to be effective?
no sea monsters. I don't know what
You're
you call
dumb.
it.
Just no.
That would be very nice.
Thank you.
Zahia is
Would
actually
be.
going to kind of walk over to a shelf and grab what looks to be a small jar with a paintbrush coming out of it and gives it to Ren.
Ha!
Ain't this on the sale?
Eat this on the sale?
Paint it.
Paint it.
Oh, yes, that's... Celine, we were doing it wrong. Yes, I'll do that. I'll draw something great.
Perfect. I know you will.
Yeah,
I've seen your artistic talents before. Specifically.
that wasn't me.
Look at the dog. It's a work of art.
And Cyril's like, and you spoke of your brother. We'll take him in. It's the
Oh.
least we can do. We'll make sure that he learns the responsibilities of his powers.
Okay. Great. He's around here somewhere.
He's currently sitting in the back trying not to fall asleep.
Perfect.
Good practice in meditation, I told him.
There you go. Yeah. Any goodbyes for him, Vestian, or are you good just to take off?
No,
He's your brother.
I
Bro.
kicked his ass once. That's enough for him.
You suck.
Are there any, like, robes or anything in this room that maybe they took off when they came in here? Any nice robes?
No. They're not really a robe people.
I
She was
know.
gonna steal it for sure.
I know.
There's a cloak. Do you want to steal a cloak that's on like a
Yeah.
hat rack?
Yeah, she's not gonna steal it. She's gonna walk up and put it on and just, well, it was nice being back. I'm sure you'll need our help another time, but when we come back.
Yeah, don't forget to call or write. We didn't. Your letters to us must have got lost in the post, but we'll look forward to hearing from you after this.
We sent you a letter and we never got our familiar back, so...
Well, we never were very familiar with each other. That
Hey, nice. Anyways, get out of here. Ooh.
and then he just pushes red. She's just like,
It's up to you guys if you actually receive that familiar. All right. So, time to go home?
I believe so.
I think, yeah, we head home and we go investigate one of these other two options we had.
I have a question for Ren. What do you paint on the sail? Do you paint it like a specific symbol, or do you just start slathering paint on the sail?
have you ever seen a child try to draw like their teacher, like Ms. Meanie Head, and then she's got like horns and stuff? Yeah, except instead of having horns, she doesn't have horns, and she draws little arrows to where there's no horns and just puts haha. And it's a mean sail.
Okay.
Is there-
It's kind of a silvery paint. And the first thing you notice is that it immediately catches wind. And you guys will actually sail about like 1.5 times faster than you would normally. It's
Nice.
basically like
Impressed.
super wind paint.
I want Vestian to
Yeah, it's trying to keep up.
trying his hardest to continue rowing.
Yeah, I mean, you might be in the back steering. Actually,
I had one job on the way here. I'm continuing it.
Inappropriate. Ren's just out front like this, just kind of makeshift seeing eyeglass. And
It's
then,
just her hand. She just made it out of her hand.
No, it's just her hands. She's just here like,
It's like a paper
Mercy.
towel tube.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. You guys make it back uneventfully.
Perfect. What's my favorite kind of event?
Actually, I do want you to roll me a d100. Real quick, like.
Who's doing it? Anyone?
Anyone.
Someone do it. Beat me to it. Gah. I got it in first. Suck it. It's a bad
What'd you
number. 5.
5? Oh yeah, it's super uneventful.
Perfect.
Yeah, nothing cool happens at all.
I don't like when you say things like that. I feel like I don't believe you when you say those things. No, nothing happens at all. You're totally fine. No, something happens. Something bad happens.
And
you die.
We just see what we see because we go from the scene of you guys painting the sail and you going really quick. Then we see a scene of like the boat kind of like on the waves, like bouncing up and down, like because it's going so much faster. And you see Vestian steering or oaring, and then we cut to the boat like coming to a stop at the dock of Hostad, and the silver paint on the sail evaporates. Its magic has been spent.
It took like 20 minutes to draw.
It was very impressive magic.
I should mention it is night. It is currently night.
Is the village at peace? Do we return to like a serene night in Hostad?
It's the village of flame.
Nope, it's very quiet. The fisherman who you borrowed his boat from is sitting on the dock asleep with his fishing pole. There's, as you kind of walk further into town, like you're on the dock, so it's actually very quiet at night because most of the fishermen are probably asleep or whatever. Or if they're not, they're probably at one of the halls, but it's late. It's like midnight, which means if people are still awake, they're drunk and about to pass out.
Perfect.
We should go rest for the night. And where should we meet in the morning?
The Hunter's Lodge or the giant tree?
Hunter's Lodge. We don't do anything without breakfast.
Perfect. Me either.
And second,
You guys eating breakfast.
yes, Ren's going to, as like Salim starts to walk back, she'll like grab his like forearm and just, it's been 2 days. I wouldn't say that I'm starting to get these tendencies where I get a twitch in my eye, but if I were Vestian, I'd be casting Fireball. I need to...
You're making fun of me.
She would make the gesture she does when she's, pulling the energy out.
Gotcha.
Or having it pulled out.
Then, yeah, before they rest that night, they will go through the words and the ritual to siphon Rin's energy into Salim so he can recharge his own and so she doesn't go kaplooey at any points.
And then when they get back, Ren's going to make her hand into a teddy bear and go to bed.
Oh man, I just thought it's like there's moments when we're playing a game and I'm like, I wish I was the GM right now. I totally just imagine them doing the whole ritual thing and then they like go to bed and as they're both laying in their separate beds, the camera just zooms in on Celine's arm is the little brown spot of clay and he's like,
Let's see, if we were playing Cypher, that would have been an intrusion.
yeah, right. Well, it doesn't do anything. It's just like as you're siphoning that power, it's spreading it to the other person, which I thought would be cool.
Nah, not today. Not today.
But in the future, Salim, you're fucked. Book 3, watch out. Everyone's clay.
No. Yeah. So you guys, we're gonna cut straight to you guys eating. Do you want to cut straight to you guys on the road? Do you have anything in the morning you actually need to do?
We should probably meet with Torek.
Okay.
And explain to him what the hell happened. And double check on the speaker of the sea.
Yeah, you do have an interesting conversation with Torek because you mentioned Rodolph.
Right, yeah. So I think
Exactly.
that like it would probably cut to like us eating. I assume Torek checks in on the Hunter's Lodge every day, right, or something like that.
Yeah, he probably comes by. And you say we cut to you guys eating breakfast, and then just Torg's face just Rodolph, that yellow-bellied wizard or whatever the hell he was.
Yes, tell us about that.
Yeah, apparently he committed some atrocities. We would love to hear about them in detail.
Because apparently the witches said that he was dead, which is not true because we killed him.
Super killed him.
Well, that's the thing is though we just killed him. So
I removed his head from his body.
He reattached it via fire.
yeah, I mean it was
Doesn't sound like that should work, but somehow did.
I mean it was attached before he was all on fire, but yeah, then he shot fire at us, and then he took a bunch of corpses and made them also shoot fire at us.
And then he span around, but not as good as we did. Dance squad. Salim puts out a hand for a high five.
And much like the most awkward thing, you're like, yeah.
Salim curls his fingers around, not kind of shakes the fist. Yeah. All right, we'll work on it.
Perfect.
No,
Show
I
him the
killed
thing you can do.
Oh yeah, I will say that Vestian is now sporting a new leather eye patch over one eye.
I was saying, are you wearing an eye
Yeah,
patch?
he for sure is. Yeah, he's wearing a leather eye patch, like a pirate. And he says, what are you talking about?
Did you guys keep the skull with you?
We probably would have, I'm guessing.
Was it weird?
It was a skull with 2 vertebrae on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think, who had that? I think Ren had that, I feel like. It was
Why?
a weird...
You think the witch has the weird stuff in her backpack?
No, because it's you, and I think you have weird stuff in your backpack.
Well, how do you know that
I
there's
feel like the witch is eating cereal out of it.
Yeah.
The witches
not
just
because-
actually killed him. The witches me.
And not because she's a witch, just because it's you. All of her bowls are skulls. The cat.
She flips the vertebra, like she flips it around, is eating out of like the No.
Like she holds it like a ladle.
Yeah.
The spine parts. That's the handle.
I think she just turns her backpack slightly toward you, and you see the skull resting at the top, and there's something heavy in her bag that has like a string tied to the vertebrae under it.
Yeah, see, that's his head. It was attached to the rest of him. And then he went something, and then he was on fire.
He like holds up a finger and then walks out the door, and about 15 minutes later comes back with a box about this big.
About roughly head-sized box.
Yeah. And like slams it on the table. It's like it's reinforced with steel. And he's like, I'm gonna ruin breakfast.
I'm gonna just Salim shoves food in his mouth and like chews it as quickly as he can to make sure he doesn't lose his appetite here.
And cracks open the box, and you will see the skull of Rodolph.
Okay.
It's got the same exact features. It's got the 2 vertebrae.
Oh, we're comparing them. And she pulls it off and puts it on the table next to it. But she leaves the string on so she knows which one is hers.
Okay, so you're saying that you chopped his head off. Well, we're
Yes.
saying that his head was very much on when we fought him over on Hoxayord.
I don't like this shit.
Is it possible who we fought was not his physical form, but the one from the dream manifest in our world, this dream you've been to? If there really are 2 versions of everyone.
This is true. I hadn't thought of this.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I've never heard of a dream form manifesting in the real world.
I've never heard of someone dying via dream battle before, like yesterday. And look at you.
But
There are
also,
stories of specters. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
No, but also the world has never been so close to the world of the dreams before. So I think many things that maybe were not possible may be possible now.
Specters are people with strong souls, strong enough to crawl their way back to topside from the underside after death.
Right.
I don't like this at all. I don't think you're done with him yet.
You hear crunching as Ren continues eating.
How many times do we have to kill him?
Until he's too weak to come back.
Right. Got it. Okay.
Not too hard for you, though, right? Kind of slaps you on the back.
I mean, it was fairly easy the first time, seeing as how we were exhausted. So I assume so. Also, I have a bag of gourds for you. He puts a bag of gourds.
I want to actually look in the bag now that I have a chance to, because no,
There,
give me an opportunity.
there are 3 dried gourds with corks in them.
Okay. What?
Do you take a sniff?
Yeah.
It's very sweet smelling.
Okay.
Do you have any herbalism knowledge?
No.
That's the other 2 members of the team.
I
Herbalism?
do not know. I don't. So I just kind of smell it and then show
It's
it.
very sweet. It's almost too sweet for your tastes.
Mm-hmm. I'll
I feel
just show
like-
it to the others.
I feel like Red sticks her pinky in from across Cardis, is just like, I wonder what this is. And you just see a pinky that's not clay dip in and slowly move away. And you hear, Salim. And she'll step back so he can stick his finger in there.
I'm gonna say you're getting help, so you got a 22.
You're just doing that, huh? After the whole mushroom fiasco.
I knew that those were. I mean, you're right. I should be more cautious.
I meant
is that a
Salim.
nature?
You already told us you knew what they were.
It's very syrupy, what you just tasted, and you know to be a Western healing potion.
This appears to be a Western healing potion.
Oh, well.
As opposed to the Normans make their healing potions out of
Yeah.
straight good berries.
Gotcha.
Yeah, then I'll hand one to Bastian and one to Salim and then the last one to Ren.
Ren will put her hand out and just keep it for yourself, because she remembers Cardis getting hurt in the last fight.
Oh,
She doesn't remember her passing out or anything. She just remembers Cardis, like huge Cardis laying there. She's like,
Well,
I'll be fine. I'll hide behind you. How about that?
I kind of feel like she would make quite a lot of noise when she falls down. It's a long way
That's
down.
what scared her more than people dying or fainting or like passing out or anything. It's the
Just the sound.
The tree falls in the woods. We hear it because it's Cardis.
I'm just looking at your guys' tokens real quick. You guys did get a full rest.
Yeah.
So whenever
Did we?
you can all heal up and stuff.
Cool. I had 1 hit point.
Yeah.
So the witches of Hoxayord weren't a whole lot of help. In fact, they were in a worse off state than we could have imagined. Thankfully, we were there to save them. And re-kill your friend. Or ex-friend.
You say friend and he like glares at you. Cause
Yeah. They also wouldn't tell us anything about why he was beheaded. But that's fine.
look, he was messing with people's dreams. Can't
Well,
have that.
They did say
Taking their
that much,
freedom away from them.
right? Well,
But
we have a lot of weird dream shit happening.
yeah, I wonder maybe if what he was doing influenced what's happening. Did he bring it on or make it worse or
I think your intuition's on the right track.
that he may be the cause of all this? Yes.
Well, if you find him again, maybe you know some questions to ask, like, what the hell are you doing?
It's something I wish to ask many people many times a day. Yes.
I've done it. It doesn't go great every time. Just a warning.
But we try.
Or ask him more about his journey to get back here so we can learn about it, maybe. Just a thought.
You guys know where you're heading off to?
Well, we either go to, what is it? We go visit the Great Tree of the Safar, or we go visit the Dromont at Pilgrim's
End. It's called Pilgrim's End because that's where they ended their pilgrimage.
Perfect. Great name.
Because they took a pilgrimage from the underside to the top side. Because as you'll remember, they're actually undersiders.
So, if we are dealing with potentially folk coming back from the underside, like this fellow, should we go speak to the Dromont? Or do weird interpretive dances at the Dromont and have them do them back at us?
Well,
and hopefully we learn something together?
Fortunately, you and I are now proficient.
Yes, we are. Can we just say that we go for the hit again, and this time you have a handout and I do the face?
Yes. Friend. He looks to you and says, besides, did the Safar dream?
No.
Now then, I don't imagine they would be much help.
What if we go see this really big tree? Because there's going to be a lot of really cool branches there.
I don't...
But what would that teach us?
I'm just saying we want to keep all our options open.
Salim,
You know what? I shouldn't have input in this. I'm just gonna. She just goes back.
No. It's a salient point.
Salim, I'm missing something here. Is this a inside joke or
Well, do you remember when Ren walked through the woods with two branches?
I do recall that vaguely.
Yes.
That is the whole joke.
So that doesn't actually help us.
That doesn't hurt us.
You got me there.
I do believe myself, though, that yes, the visit to the now I immediately forgot their name. The Dromar would be the most
Dromont
would be the most useful.
It's literally Dream Ant. Is what that translates to. Cool. We're going to do a little bit of a traveling montage, which involves 3 D100 rolls. So whoever didn't roll the last one, I would like each of you to roll me one.
I got this.
I believe that's everyone but me.
Cool. All right, a 19. First day is very uneventful. So yeah, this is a 3-day trip up the road, which there's sort of a road, but no one's used it in such a long time that it's barely a road anymore. You go like across the river and head over to Pilgrim's End. Let's see, 53 on. You find some large game.
Ooh.
Reacquainting what that means. Large game. Your hunting efforts result in bagging a deer, boar, or other large creature. You gain 10d10 pounds of meat. They're gonna roll me 10d10.
Salim, it's all you, buddy.
Ooh. We got 72 pounds of meat. It's just like Oregon Trail, man.
And Bestian's carrying all of it because he's our pack mule.
I have dysentery.
if you guys, because it assumes that you like cut, clean, do a bunch of stuff.
Of course. Yeah, I'll carry some as well.
I will
and
put little pieces.
If you can return to town with it, it does give you reputation.
Nice.
So
5 meat.
yeah, it's fine.
It's better than.
Like I said, you're like drying it and stuff, and you're eating it as time passes by. And then one more roll from Maddie. A 4. Also uneventful. Except it's not entirely uneventful.
Oh shit.
Because this is day 3. And day 3 stuff happens. That's the wrong one. Wrong chapter.
Can I roll to like fasten some type of like a big leaf over Cardis's eye so it's like a visor between her horns and just like tie it on?
Why?
To keep the sun out of her eye. He doesn't have eyelids.
Oh,
Wait,
right.
her
The
eye?
eye
She
that's
can't-
tied between my horns. Yeah.
The eye doesn't actually, like, she can't feel it. It's not part of her.
Ren doesn't know that.
Okay.
I mean, Ren's got a clay hand, so she has a different perspective than. Yeah, sorry.
All right. Leaving the colorful forests that surround Hostad, you enter upon the sparse plains of northern Norsate. From here, you can see the great ocean and its empty horizons, giving you their greater sense of loneliness and solidarity. Because yeah, you literally can't see anything from your ocean, like from your island. It's that far away to any sort of landmass. As you I'm trying to read too many things. At dusk on the second day, you actually come across some Dromount. They kind of chatter to themselves and make themselves known about 20 feet away from you guys. So as you guys are sort of like maybe getting ready to like set up camp for the night because it's dusk, they kind of like, you can hear some like chattering, and then they kind of like make themselves known, like raising their chests up high and holding, you know, their weapons at like they have like spears and like shields made out of bones and carapace. And they just kind of like, and then look at you kind of questioningly.
So, who wants to talk to the bug people?
Ren is holding 2 sticks out.
I will try. I'll kind of go forward a little bit and sort of bow to them. Hello? We have come seeking wisdom.
Does she know they don't speak?
I'm not sure.
You hear some more like clicking between them, and kind of like rubbing their feelers, and then they kind of like turn and do the like follow me. And
I'll follow.
it's not long before you actually smell boar roasting.
Holy crap. I've never seen one talk to one before.
And they kind of like motion for you to sit at they have like a little camp where they're currently cooking a kill. And they're kind of like doing the like motioning, like, please sit down.
Yeah, I'll sit down and try and take up as little space as possible.
Salim, what if we don't have to dance the whole time?
We'll find as many excuses as we need to, Bastion.
So what's funny about this joke is I don't know when you guys started doing it.
Today.
No, this happened last session.
At one time though, but like
You did it. It's your fault, Ethan.
You told us we danced.
You told us we danced as we were high on mushrooms.
That's what it comes from.
Okay,
You
cool.
told us that we came out of the mushroom high in the middle of a dance number, and we just took it and ran with it.
Why are you like this? You made me like
So
this.
it's literally
I'm sorry.
your fault, Ethan.
It's my fault.
We took it and we ran with it directly into the ground.
Yeah.
Straight to Broadway.
Straight to Broadway. We sashayed across the
Straight
stage
to
of
DVD.
Norsate. We're gonna kickball change into the hearts of America.
I'm sorry to the world.
Are ants? Are these people? Not ants. That's mean. Are
Wow,
these people
racist.
going to be offended if I'm doing that?
Doing what? Trying to antenna?
Yeah.
But with branches.
Yeah.
They don't really get it.
She just looks defeated and sits down and puts the branches on the ground.
But they start like cutting off bits of the boar and like handing it to you and just kind of like trying to make you as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I know it makes you full, but like, I'm gonna assume that for narrative purposes, Vestian has like a few of the good berries off of the bush, and he like pulls out and like unwraps like the lemnis bread like fabric he has there, and pulls it out and presents each of these Dromont with a good berry as
There's
a show
just-
of good faith.
There's just the two of them,
Yeah, he gives one to each of them, and that's all he has. Like, he gives the two he has to them.
and they're like, they're intending to go, woo. That's the sound
Are
effect.
you
Like
R2D2 right now? Like, brr, brr, brr.
if it was a comic, they'd be like, woo. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah,
kind of like gingerly pick it up, and like their mouth bits open up, and they go,
They're mandibles.
yeah,
Their mouth bits.
mouth bits.
I've seen Bug's Life.
And then they kind of like start like chatting to each other because it's none of you understand the Dromont language, but they do speak a language.
Yeah.
And they're just lots of hand signals as well.
Yeah.
They're very excited.
Like, I want to try and through gestures and hand signals and sound effects and that sort of thing. I also have prestidigitation,
Mhm.
so I can maybe do small symbols
Mhm.
or something. I would like to communicate to them that what we need their help with. Can I try like performance or something to try and
Yeah, give me a performance
express
check.
myself? All right.
Are they gonna like death metal? Is what I've always. Do ants like death metal? Can somebody Google that for me?
Norwegian death metal.
What's their favorite instrument?
At 18?
They kind of like
Well, like I'm speaking, but I'm also like gesturing and everything.
they kind of like look at each other, then look at you. One of them like nods and points towards the direction that you were heading.
Okay.
Just sort of like,
All right. Yeah. I want to sort of ask like if there's someone special we should be looking for. Do they have like a necklace or a hat or a symbol or something? Oh, okay. So we're wearing something on their heads. Oh, 3 antenna. Okay. No.
Like a crown? Like a hat?
they point at you.
Hey, I win the game.
Okay. All right, then we will speak to that person and thank you very much for your hospitality.
As you guys are kind of like prepping to go to bed, they kind of dismiss themselves
Mm-hmm.
and let you guys camp on your lonesome.
Now, Ethan, what I want in the future is if you run this game in person, at this point, I want you to break out into full charades.
I have.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's so fun.
I actually had a player who they played a Dromont and they had minor illusion so that they could just do emoticons.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Little emojis.
Yeah, or like as like when you're an anime character and you're just like, and you have like the sweat draw for like the.
All right. So in the morning we already rolled for is that it's uneventful. And you guys get to a village. As you travel down the ancient streets, you pass by falling Norman structures held together by large mounds of hive mud. You see what could be scenes of normal Norman life, such as chopping wood and tanning leathers, but with uncertain Dromont forms who look and chitter with themselves as you pass. You make your way to the largest building, sort of directed by the Dromont, and what may have once been the town's lodge. The two warriors who led you to the doors, so at some point some warriors joined you, usher you inside. They open doors and usher you inside. The room is warm and damp in direct contrast with the cooling crisps of autumnal air outside. Long table runs the length of the room with a Dromont clad in fine fur standing at the far side beside an ornate chair. It leers at you as you are motioned in by the warriors. He kind of like looks at you and looks down at the ground where the chairs are.
Go take a seat.
Yeah, come in.
Can we just... Or, okay. And he sits too.
Once you've all been seated, a large Dromont dressed in the finest Norman clothing and furs emerges from the far side of the lodge and sits down at the head of the table with the help of her consort. She does have a crown floating above her head, sort of in this like ectoplasmic light. I think I have an image of that.
It's not actually touching her skin.
No.
Or anything.
It's floating.
Weird.
It's like a projection, almost kind of like a neon. I don't have a picture of that. The person who was standing beside the chair produces a satchel, and from it a fist-sized orb, and hands it to the crowned Dromont, who holds it in their two small hands. With her other two hands, because she has four, she extends them to the party member sitting nearest to her and asks, and kind of like looks like she wants to grab your hands.
I'll give her my hand.
And then
Salim will sit between Vestian and, or Ren will sit between Salim and Vestian.
are you guys all holding hands at this point?
Oh, yeah. Salim will absolutely take Ren's. Salim can take the clay hands.
Ren is humming Kumbaya, but only so that the people next to her can hear.
Oh, kumbaya hands.
Wow, I was really antsy about this, but now I feel better.
Tear my other eye out.
Once those, so have you guys all formed this ring?
Yeah.
If you haven't, the serious Dromont standing beside the crowned one is taking his four hands and like making a ring out of them, like telling you to do that. Once those present form a ring with their hands, words begin to enter their minds. The hunters can't speak with their thoughts and will need to speak verbally, though. And the voice says, "Welcome, hunters of the Southlands. I am Princess Sakai. What brings you to our lands?"
I'm gonna look around and see if someone wants to take the lead on this conversation.
Thank you. We are very grateful. You have been your people are most welcoming and very kind. We have come here seeking your wisdom
I will let you know anything I can.
The underside, the creatures of dream and power of dream is coming forth and hurting many people. We seek to separate the worlds again as it should be. We seek to save the many people who are being taken over.
And why do you come to us?
You know much of the underside and how travel occurs.
She kind of like shakes her head. It's like, leaving the underside was sort of like a fog, coming out of a fog. I remember taking some of the tunnels up, but from the actual underside, I don't remember much. Yes, it's very strange.
We think there may have been someone who tried on purpose to do this, excuse me, to change, bring these things together.
Bring what things together?
The underside of the world.
That's very curious.
We believe someone may be doing this on purpose.
That is very strange. I wish I could help, but I honestly don't know much, and I have not been able to make contact with the maternal link to gain more information.
Okay.
There seems to be some sort of disturbance.
Interesting. Something we could help you with, maybe?
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what's causing it, but actually, kind of glances down at Ren's hand. What is that?
A dog. It's the best I could do. I haven't seen one in a while.
You don't need to lie to me.
Oh, what is it made out of? And she just folds it back to like lump hand. It's clay.
Interesting. That is.
You want to poke it? She sticks her hand out.
You can feel it. You don't see it being poked, but you can feel it being poked. Like there's that sensation.
She makes that face. She pulls it back.
Yeah. Do you know where that came from? That is primitive element.
I had a little like this little stone, and I would always like mess with it whenever I was nervous, and I found myself fumbling with it in my pocket, and then it was gone when I woke up one morning, and I had clay hand.
You must have obtained that from a devil.
Cool.
That is a piece of them.
Like the devil?
There's no such thing as the devil. A devil.
A devil.
Yes. Creatures of the underside. They have a strong sense of contracts.
Salim. Sorry, just one. What was that thing that teacher said about us? Not the queen lady, but the lady.
Oh.
Called me the devil. Is that a figure of speech?
Well, she called you the devil, but we just learned that the devil doesn't exist. So you're clear in this, I think. You could be a devil, though. No, you're not a devil. No. No,
Looks disappointed when she hears him say that.
no. No devil could produce something as wonderful as this, and we'll ruffle the top of the. Do the dog thing again.
He's just petting the lump hand.
No,
And he's
no, I'm
"Do
trying."
it again. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, she's just gonna look back to her. What does that mean exactly? I knew I should have listened more.
It's from what I've gathered, a devil once used to live on the island. It had since died. Perhaps you found a piece of it.
But what do these devils do?
From what I'm probing from Vesdian's mind.
I didn't know.
I didn't ask for that.
There was once a great devil known as Mjolnsput that lived atop the mountain to protect it.
So he protected a mountain. That doesn't sound so bad.
He protected the whole island. This is something, Vestian, you actually do know. This is an old myth that you guys have. It's
Yes. The man from that island.
This is the origin story of the Normans.
Right. From clay we were built.
No, not quite. Yes, there was once a devil, and it was just it had a contract with the island that they would sacrifice one life every year at a festival. And in return, it protected them until a young man did not wish that his beloved want to be sacrificed, so he summoned a spirit into himself and fought, and they killed each other.
But why do I have goop hand?
You must have found a piece,
But why is it goopy?
because it's made of earth.
So-
You've been changed by it. You're being converted.
Into a devil?
No, into earth. You only have one piece.
So what you're
Devil's
saying
made of
is,
four.
if there were other elemental-like objects, perhaps, just hypothetically, maybe of fire or of water, these two would come from Mjolnsput?
No,
He said moonspoon. She said moonspoon.
Mjolnsput was
That's not what she said.
was a devil composed of the elements of the Lord and the Lady, which you guys would know to be earth, water, life, and creation.
Does it completely consume them?
I don't believe so. You are mortal after all. You have will that you can hold it back.
So if I wanted to, I could make my hand go back to normal right now.
No, the process has already affected it. You could cut it off.
Will it grow back?
No.
Will it stop it from ever spreading to more of me?
Yes.
Could I still cast from it?
I don't know.
That's a big factor in this decision that I'd like to explore before anyone cuts my hand off, if that's okay.
But having, I did mention, I would love to help you, and I have so many questions for the mother, but the queen, rather. But as I mentioned, I can't speak to her. There's something in the way.
What is it?
I think it's something similar to what you have.
Clay hand?
And?
Maybe not precisely, but definitely one of these elements.
All right, well, let's say we found clay, and hypothetically we found water and fire. What other ones could there be?
There are a total of 8 elements.
Oh, okay.
as you mentioned, water, fire, earth, air. And in the under spectrum, that's the over spectrum. Those are the physical things. The under spectrum infers thoughts. You have logic, emotion, test my own knowledge, creation, and life.
Ren nudges Cardis, but doesn't break eye contact.
But
That's you with the.
oh yes, I can see the sins. Yes,
Oh no, that's something completely different.
it is. There's more there. Allows me to see what is the.
Oh no, that is a literal eye from a divine being.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
That's something slightly different. It's a very different energy.
I see. I did not know this.
Oh, strange. You do seem to be attuned to it.
Not sure why, but it.
Please do not activate it.
No, of course.
I sense something is following it.
What? I told you it was cursed.
I knew I shouldn't have made this. So she takes the little visor off.
Something is following it?
Yes.
On a scale of common wood rat to gigantic cosmic horror, how bad of a thing could be following it?
A 9?
9 out of what? Like 100? That's not so bad.
9 out of cosmic horror.
I don't like.
That seems not
Curtis,
great.
I'm not one to tell people how to live their lives or what to or not to bring as far as limbs or organs on this trip, but maybe we don't want that. Maybe we leave it with the nice lady and she makes sure no one touches it.
I don't want it.
Can we burn it?
Can you burn a god?
What
We
happened?
burn an eyeball.
Okay,
I-
I have a very important question. Because I don't understand magic in a fundamental level. I just will things into being because I'm great. So, what if...
Like an ego.
Literally.
Yeah.
What if, hypothetically, you possess the essence of fire itself in...
As
your-
you do, yes.
Hypothetically...
Busted. Hypothetically busted. Antithetically busted.
That's not a word. In your eye, and then you take the eye of a god and you put it in your empty, fiery eye hole.
That sounds strange.
Okay.
Well, he has an eye hole that he's looking to vacate.
No, it's already vacated. It's just a giant fiery...
No, your eye is still there. The fire is
what?
inside of your eye.
You know, Ethan?
Ren flips up your eye patch without
Oh,
asking.
come on.
Oh, I should probably. And she like when you like open like a vessel porthole, that sound just. She'll just put that back.
Damn it.
I forgot you could like set people on fire with that. Sorry, I should have thought that one through.
Right, that's why I'm wearing the thing.
Is it flame retardant?
I don't know. It's leather.
That's not.
Close enough.
Yeah. So not a
But-
great idea, is what you're saying.
No, because I don't think that they're elementally good.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, which one's blocking you from contacting the mother?
I don't know.
Great.
I can just sense the weight of it
You can sense it though. Where is it coming from?
below us,
Oh,
towards the queen.
I see what you're going for there.
So, is this a place we could visit and investigate, or
not?
I mean, we
I
probably
could
have to.
Salim turns to the other two, or the other three. He's like, so about those branches.
Ren. I bring them everywhere.
You would have to walk the path.
Of
Fire.
Of the pilgrims, us.
Is this like a literal path, or like how many paths must a man walk down?
Oh, it is a literal path that's marked. We marked our way up.
Good.
oh, great. Yeah, that's
We constructed great pylons to let us know if we ever needed to retreat from the top side.
of course? Well, we could investigate a little and see if we can see anything. But if you think our energy could be best used elsewhere, I would also.
No, unfortunately, we are prevented from returning to the path ourselves. It is against our last order.
right. Okay.
which was to come to the top side and stay here.
Now, has anyone ever followed the path back up that wasn't a Dromon? That you're aware of?
No.
Okay. Like a specter.
Ooh, a specter. Very interesting.
Why?
They wouldn't need a path.
Go on.
They can just dig through the envelope.
I'm sorry, did you say the envelope?
Like the
Antelope.
I heard that too.
they aren't worried about the physical world as much since they are made of dream energy and can literally crawl through the crust.
Okay.
So you're saying we should go down there without any help from anyone up here, and that something is crawling out of the core to come murder us?
Maybe.
Also heard that as well.
And I will not be sending you alone. I will be coming with you, in a way.
Oh, in a way. That affects the first part of that sentence. What does that
In
mean?
spirit, or?
She puts the orb that she'd been holding on the center of the table. We should be able to keep direct contact as long as you have this on your person.
Oh, this is
Right.
fascinating. Thank you.
Did the guy give me my skull back before we
Yeah.
left?
Yeah, you could. He wouldn't have wanted it. Unless you wanted him to put it in the box with the other skull.
I think she would have held on to it just in case it came in handy for skull things. But she reaches on her bag, feels the top of it, and goes, "No, I don't have any room."
Can I just touch this? Is that okay?
Yes, please.
At least he asks.
See, you do this before I go probing.
See.
Grabs the the orb and will store it on his person.
Okay. You can refer to it as the lifeless one.
The person we've been talking to is the lifeless.
No, the orb.
The orb. Okay, like what? Okay.
Yeah. And don't ask too many questions about it, because it's very sad.
Okay. Perfect.
Great. No, yes. Whenever I've described someone as lifeless, it's been a fantastic story. So
Yeah.
yes, let's just assume the best and move on.
Yep. Is there anything else you guys need? Any preparations?
I feel like that's it.
All right. You would be led to by some of the warriors. You'd be led to what is essentially like the entrance to a mine. Is what this is what this used to be, because this used to be like a small mining town.
Before we get all the way there, Salim is at some point going to try that health potion he has. He's going to try to either slide a hand or slip that into Rin's goods, because he would much rather prefer Rin had it than he does. He at least has some healing powers, and Rin does not.
Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand.
Okay.
And Ren, you can tell me if it works.
I would say an advantage. She doesn't pay attention to anything.
It's just one of those things that I don't like doing PvP without consent.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that works. I think a 6 would have cut it. She has the sticks, and she's bragging about being able to communicate with things now that they're gone. Just kind of waving them around, walking down this path to hell.
Oh yeah, and Salim will just be like acknowledging her and going along with it too. Like, it didn't work for the Dromont, but look, those beetles seem to have fled when you told them to move. That's amazing, Ren.
Yeah, I mean, we went back home and we were like heroes, and everyone cheered. So I mean, they would have if they weren't sleeping. But.
You made me a friend. This mosquito landed on me and bit me like you asked it to. That was very, very interesting. No, very impressive.
Yes. Look, I asked you to.
What?
The old constructions of an abandoned mine shaft quickly give way to the natural hard stone caverns leading deeper and deeper underground. About every 10 or 20 feet is marked with a strange stone pylon marking the original way of the Path of Pilgrims. The air is cold and damp, favoring lichens and mushrooms that clutch the walls. And you're given a sense that you have no doubt that these tunnels stretch all the way to the underside. They just kind of give that feeling.
Yeah, I'm gonna just be like keeping my eyes open and looking around. And I don't think she's really ever been anywhere underground.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think someone as tall as her typically seeks that out.
Mm-hmm.
So this is definitely a new experience, this whole being underground business.
Yeah. You'll notice that the small orb kind of reacts to the interference you're told about, sort of like a compass. So like you can like move it around, and it kind of, I have a parenthesis here. Your players would recognize it most like tuning a radio.
Oh, okay. So this is kind of how we're going to figure out where this thing is at, by like the louder the static gets.
Right.
Not like a compass.
Well, it's actually the cleaner the sound gets.
Okay, gotcha.
Go away, it becomes static.
Cool.
Yeah, and we're gonna move into a skill montage because we haven't done much in ways of mechanics.
It's dark down here, right? Like it's a dark ass tunnel.
Yes. Those pylons do have like a strip on them that glows a little bit, but it's very faint.
Not helping at all. He takes his eye patch off, and now there's a small glow on his face.
Yeah, it's not enough to light the path.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
Produce flames.
Tell you what, buddy. Do you want? Remember how I lit up your weapon earlier? You want the same thing?
No, actually, I think I've learned. I think I did this right. I've been practicing. Hold on a second. And he like closes one eye and like scrunches up his face, because normally he just commands magic to do what he wants. And now he's trying to control elemental fire. And
It's actually not that different.
Yeah, but for him it's different. So for him, he's trying to learn it. So he like scrunches his face up, and then poof, a fire appears between his hands. He's like, look at that. I got it. And he's just holding it between his hands. It's just in there. That's as much as I can get it to do. I can toss it back and forth, and I can throw it at something, but that's all I can do so far.
No, it's incredibly impressive.
Thank you. That came out of my eye, so I'd say.
In my head, your eye just sort of like vomits it into a ball in your hands.
Yeah, he like blinks and wills it to life in his hands.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't understand the concept that it should work the same way as the way he normally harnesses magic. So he's trying to force it to happen.
Got it.
Yeah, but now there's like a 10-foot radius of light around him, and that's it.
It's only 10 feet? I thought it was...
I think it's like 10 or 15.
torch.
It's not as bright as a torch. Produce flames is only like, I think it's like 15 feet of bright and then like an additional 10 of dim.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
All right. So this skill montage has 2 phases. I'll let you know when phase 2 happens. But your goals for navigating the path currently are avoiding trouble, maintaining morale, and reading the orb, or reading the orb, or keeping on the path.
Okay.
And so you need to roll initiative.
Cool. Nat 20.
Typically, that would give you advantage on your first action.
Cool.
Is how I typically roll with nat 20 initiatives.
Okay.
Um,
In that case, I'm going to attempt to keep us on the
Sorry.
path. What? Yeah,
I didn't click on my token, sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to attempt to keep us on the path using survival to navigate, because I mean the guardians are like the warriors only led us to the path, right?
correct. They did not take you in.
Yeah, so I think using his like cartography, terrain features, and like that kind of thing, he's trying to keep us on like a path that goes generally downward, right? Like whatever makes the most sense in cave features. So that's how he's going to attempt to keep them from wandering into shadowy pits and other treacherous things.
Yeah.
Nat 20.
That's 2 successes.
Now I do nothing for the rest of the day. because it's all ones from here.
So yeah, you do a good job of making sure you guys don't fall into any pit traps, like big holes in the ground, because it's dark, right? And you use the sort of natural features of this place to help you guide yourself around. Salim.
You said one of the things we have to do is avoid trouble.
Yep.
So going through these cave systems, Salim is going to try to keep an eye out for anything that would potentially, I don't know, disturb a bundle of rocks and send them like falling down or make too many cracking sounds or anything like that. So how about a stealth check? Does that work?
Yep.
Awesome. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, so because you guys have some experience in caves at this point, and you know that there are bad things in caves. So at certain like junctures, you're like, okay, guys, quiet down, dim the lights as we pass through this section, because we don't want to attract anything. Like there's a lot of visual space, and you manage to stay to the shadows.
I just want to say, when Salim tells him to dim the lights, he closes one eye and the flame vanishes. And he's like, it's okay to pass. He opens the eye and the flame reappears.
Yay! Clap on, clap off.
Don't clap while you have produce flame in your hand. Splash, splash.
Fine, it doesn't hurt me. It's fine.
All right, Ren.
I think I like the idea of Celine being like, all right, everyone, shh, because she's holding sticks and just kind of like doing her thing, and she has dark vision. So she's just walking around in front, kind of like doing zigzags, because otherwise she gets distracted and walks too far away. So Salim, to like keep her, I guess, on a shorter leash would be like, all right, like, don't walk too far ahead. She just walks fast but zigzags, so she doesn't like go too far ahead. I was going to do performance because she's trying to show her she doesn't need fire. She at least knows how to control her hand. So that's good.
So you're trying to keep morale up?
Yeah.
An inspiring performance of goofs. I think you were destined to fail, because I don't think that's very morale filled. The reason why keeping your morale is important is because you guys are actually gonna like this path. It's gonna take a couple hours, so it's just the darkness kind of gets to you, and so you kind of, you're talking, but it's not. It's like conversation, but then things go silent really quick afterwards, and then in that silence you can hear like the walls shift a little bit, and like the slight chittering of things in the darkness. And you don't like that. That's not morale. So that is a failure.
Like that every time she tells a joke, it just and then it's like crickets, except it's awful nightmare insects that we hear.
It's not like anything's trying to kill us, and you hear like a in the background. You're like, that wasn't me. That was my stomach.
They're all the worst dad jokes.
What are you talking about?
What did the Norman say to the hook horror? Nothing. He cut his head off. That was terrible, Ren.
Cardis.
Rude.
I was gonna try and do the morale thing, but
Nope. It's out of the question.
that's out of the question now. I think I would like to keep an eye on you said there were like mushrooms and stuff like that.
Mushroom and fungi and
Yeah. So I think I'm going to keep an eye out for those.
okay.
And, see if there's anything that's like worth gathering medicinally or recreationally or edibly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay.
Give me a nature. You, after your last adventure with mushrooms, you're a little skittish about eating any ones that you don't specifically know.
Yeah.
So you're like, that one
Probably not.
should be safe, but I'm not feeling it.
Yeah. I'm not 100% on all of these. So, yeah.
All right.
Well,
Back to
I
the top. Round 2.
That's me.
Yeah.
Shit. What were the things we're trying to accomplish again?
Goals are avoiding trouble, maintaining morale, reading the orb, or keeping on the path. And you can do some of these multiple times.
Okay.
You just can't use the same skill again.
Okay, I'm going to avoid trouble. And the way I'm doing that is with the resounding success of the staying on the path. He's also has the mental fortitude to be mapping this.
Okay.
So in case they need to run away, they know exactly which way to retreat in. So I'm
Got
going to
it.
use cartographer's tools and attempt to... Hey! 20. Kill it.
Nice.
That's what I'm going to do.
You do manage to do some maps, and it's helpful in some cases because you're following this path, and then it turns out, oh no, we went the wrong way, and then you can figure out how to get back up to where you were to get back on the path correctly.
Perfect.
So yeah, that is a success. Moving down the line, Salim.
Okay, if this is successful, I'm actually going to need everyone's help with this. He would like to maintain morale, so I would like to do an insight check to understand what people need to hear right now in this moment to keep them going.
Mm-hmm.
So let's
Roll it.
see what happens. So 19.
I would like everyone to give that piece of information that Salim has gleaned up to your comfort level.
I think, I think Curtis is really just definitely spooked by being underground. Doesn't, is just kind of discovering that maybe she really doesn't like being underground now, especially with all the hunching and the. So yeah, she definitely got some anxiety about the. I wouldn't necessarily say claustrophobic, but definitely in that department.
Cool. I think Salim would say something along the lines of, Cardis, there's so many Titan songs about all their quests and adventures, but I've never heard one about a Titan going underground before. Have you?
I don't think so, no.
So this is something entirely new. A brand new story, and it's all yours.
That would definitely cheer her up, I think. Because, yeah. No, think about that one for a minute. I think this is true, yes. I will make it out, and then I will make a song of it.
Damn right.
Ren?
I think Ren's trying to behave. She's can see much farther and it can walk at much farther. Like she could run through this, but I think she's just kind of like sticking with the group and trying to behave. So I think she just wants reassurance from Salim, maybe like a pat on the back, like a friendly pat on the back. But also her back's really itchy in this one spot. So like twofer.
Oh yeah, I think he sees the dog nipping at the back occasionally, and goes up and gives the back spot a good scratch, and says something along the lines of, back there in Hoxayord, really seemed like they needed us to fix their shit again, huh?
I thought that too.
We're getting really good at this.
I think we are.
Very good at this.
I think you should write a song about us, Cardis.
Yes.
I could play drums.
Yes.
Like that one time. And then she starts thinking of lyrics to songs that they could write together.
God damn it.
She's got bark drums.
Vestian, on the other hand, I think you barely need an insight check for this one, Salim. But Vestian is standing tall, chest puffed out. He's tossing the fire back and forth. For someone who has only known success on this journey, I feel like you just roll your eyes and tell him, yes, you are the best.
Yeah, Salim kind of like just bites his lip. Damn, Vestian, you looked so cool before, and now with your flame eye, wow, you look amazing.
I know.
No one can stop you, ever.
You're true. That's true. You're right.
And Salim just turns to Ren and just goes,
Salim, I was on the fence about you, but after our dance number, you've really come around to Team Vestian, and I appreciate that.
yes, Team Vestian is the Bestian.
See?
Is it a team if it's led by one person and
Yes.
governed and made up of one person?
Yes. I am the Iron Team.
There's maybe they spell it differently, silly.
I think they do. I don't know. The poor, simple people here.
Yes. Good for you.
Actually, it's good for the rest of you that I'm here. So,
We will kill him afterwards, Ren.
you're welcome.
I begrudgingly gave you guys a victory point for that.
We've all been made better by your presence, Vesti.
I know. I didn't want to say it myself, but I'm glad someone did. And as someone as reputable as a Titan Bard,
Ren, save us, please.
must be true.
I'm sorry, was he talking?
I think so.
He does that a lot. I don't know.
It's your turn.
Uh,
Are you ashamed of this, Mike? You're doing it to yourself.
It's so great.
Oh.
I'd like to roll a history to see if I can recall anything that they were talking about, famous people or famous artists, I get like bards, singing about, like adventures and things like that. And I'm trying to remember if I recall any that would like boost people's morale. Maybe a common song that everyone knows. So she's probably standing there for a few minutes trying to figure out like who would know what, if there's anything, you know what I mean?
Roll me a history. That's a success. So you kind of come up with the song that you think most people know, and if they don't, it's real easy to catch along. Right? Norman songs aren't usually too complex. Lots of chorus. And you guys just like start humming it, start singing it.
It's kind of like I know a song that gets on everyone's nerves. Like, you might like it, you might not like it, but you immediately recognize it and you're like, and she starts off quiet and gets a little bit louder until someone finally does. She does it obnoxiously until someone else starts singing.
Got it. I don't know if anyone actually starts singing, but that's sort of like energy that puts into the march kind of like gives people a little like maybe little joy bubbles inside their hearts.
It's called beer, Ethan.
It's called beer.
Oh, you don't have any beer, but you're fine. That is a success. Oop, that's the wrong color. Whoop. Cardis. Last person for the round.
All of my rolls suck. I will. Yeah.
Aren't you a bard? Like, your rolls are. That's kind of their key feature, isn't it? That they're good at.
Something. Rogues get all the skills.
You get the jack of all trades, though, which gives you.
Yeah.
Everything.
I don't know if it's rolling that. I checked it.
Then it should be, yeah.
I think it is. Yeah.
It is.
Okay, good. My rolls just suck.
Yeah.
All right. I think, yeah, definitely for the sake of morale, the banter and everything, like, and Vestian's ego and the two of them, Ren and Salim just going off on each other all the time, talking, and Cardis is usually just totally fine with chilling out and just being in the background and waiting for them to finish. And but I think this is starting to get to her a little bit, all of this darkness and undergroundness and everything. So I think she's gonna roll some deception to keep the anger down.
Deceiving yourself. The hardest deception.
Yeah. Oh,
Succeed.
yes.
You successfully lied to yourself.
I am so fucking smooth. I'm so bad. I don't need anybody, man. That scares me. Yeah.
So while mid self hype and party hype and all this hype, you guys are hyping. I would like everyone to roll me either perception or nature. And this is a party check, so if half you succeed, I will give you some information. Nope.
Nailed it.
Woof.
Did anyone succeed? Just out of
Nope.
curiosity. Okay.
No, not a single one of you.
Perfect.
Uncertain why you didn't realize it sooner, but the round, smooth cave you travel through now has become increasingly warm, and the sound of 1,000 hooves echoes in the distance. Whatever is coming fast. You guys would have gotten a little more warning about that had you succeeded, but this is like, you guys are talking, you're like, oh yeah, I'm talking about hype, and like jokes and stuff, and then you suddenly like, is it kind of warm in here? And then you're
Cardis, put your drums away.
Is someone making popcorn?
Wait, no, that's not me.
and do you all know what a remoraz is?
Oh, fuck you.
No.
Oh, you're a monster.
Am I not gonna like this?
Not at all.
It's got
Put the
too many
thing up.
legs.
It's got
Wait,
so
what?
many legs.
This thing, don't look it up. It's gonna suck for you.
It's a snake with legs.
Wait, what?
It's very close to
How
something
many
else.
legs?
So many.
First of all, we don't fucking say that word in here, Salim.
So many.
I didn't say that word. I said it was close to something else that we've seen. That's it.
All right, I did. Okay, because
Are you gonna post a picture of it?
So it's
It's got so many legs. It's
I'm
so-
mentally preparing. That's all. I'm fine.
it's also got like these fins, and
Yeah.
on its back are these superheated coils.
Yeah, it does.
And the last we're now in phase 2, so when we change phases, you guys can use old skills again, but I don't think any of them apply.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
The goal for this round is escape the remorse.
You're like, yeah, you hear like hooves, and I was like, what the
I
fuck?
wish I were muted from wherever sound just came out.
I was like, what the fuck has hooves? It lives underground. What did you change? And then you're like, the remoras. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. It's a cobrapede that breathes fire.
Oh, shh.
It doesn't breathe fire, it just is
It
fire.
just is fire. Yeah, it's true.
I don't know if I actually have a monster entry on them,
We can
but
take it.
Do you want to fight it? Okay, so
No.
Ren's already crying again.
I actually have a little block text underneath escape the remoras. It says, should the hunters wish to fight the remoras, instead, it is an adult remoras. They shouldn't want to fight it, but mistakes should always be an option.
Yeah.
If they want to dig their own graves now, they better get started because it comes quickly. Right
Yeah.
around the corner.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, this thing's coming at you.
It just burns you when you touch it too, which is great. So like
Yeah.
anytime you hit it, it lights you on fire.
Yep.
Is
They're not
is
great.
there anywhere to hide from this thing?
Yeah. So there's like, you guys are kind of like in this round tunnel that was made by the remoras, but there are like
Spoilers.
tunnels that you can jump through holes. Like it's pocked, right? It's not
Okay.
a perfectly narrow tube. So yes, you could dodge and weave and that sort of thing. But Vestian,
We don't see it, right? Or do we do see? Do we
you,
actually
you
see
see
it?
the glow.
Okay, and we don't know what it is
Um,
because we all failed our roll.
you know it's big and it's glowing.
Right. Yeah, so we know enough to get away from it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Does Vestia think it's big enough that we need to retreat up the tunnel?
You can't. It's coming from that direction.
Oh, it's coming from the tunnel that we
It's
just
coming
came
from behind
down.
you guys. Like you guys.
Balls.
So here's this big tunnel. You guys came from up here and are traveling down it a little bit, and then are gonna hop off it. But yeah. So it's coming
Oh.
from behind you. You need to go forward.
This is the tongue, and the whole thing is the worm. Man. I don't know what to say right now.
That's the correct response. Yeah. It's bad
Yeah.
news.
I'm
It's
trying
a
to
bad
think of
news
what I
news.
can do to get the fuck out of here. And be relatively useful other than just run away.
While you're thinking,
Yep.
I'm gonna give some lore.
Yep.
Remoras are actually an ancient dwarven mining machine that has gone feral.
That doesn't help. That's not helping me.
No, it's just lore.
Thanks.
It's fun lore.
Thanks,
They
buddy.
used them to mine, and then they lost control of them, and they just started burrowing through the earth.
Got it.
Yeah, they're bad news.
All the way to hell where they belong.
No, they also stay in the crust,
Shit.
where they can turn the earth into
Is there a hole on the other side of this dome that we're
This is
entering?
like it's pocked, so you can like jump through holes.
Well, no, I'm saying, is the tunnel continue past this thing, like where we're going?
Yes. In skill challenges, you can assume things.
Okay, so like
Like,
what I'm
if you-
imagining is that we're in a tube and there's like a dome. That's what you would describe, right? A dome, and then there's like the tube on the other side of where we have to continue past this room. Right?
You can do that. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
we can say that.
Man. I'm gonna try something dumb, and I don't know what that means. So Vestian hears this thing coming, and as he does with all other giant monsters, he kind of forces the rest of everyone to move ahead of him. And you said there's like pox all over the room.
Yeah.
I'd like to assume there's one like above the door, and I don't know what these pox are made out of, but I'm going to create or destroy water and create a
Pox
fuckload of
being
water.
holes.
Yeah. I don't know what they're made from, like acid or fire holes, or just this thing was like bored and tunneling through them. But my goal is to create a shitload of water, because I forget how much water I can actually create. Something like 10 gallons or more, which is fairly heavy, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully attempt to collapse some of the tunnel.
Okay.
So I'm going to create or destroy water as a spell, and then roll something. You tell me what.
Yeah, give me your spellcasting check. Like whatever your spell dice is. So wisdom plus proficiency.
Cool. So whatever
And you
this
have-
is, plus 3? 2? Plus 2.
And then because you're casting a spell, it's at advantage, but you fail.
So 12. 12 at advantage.
Okay, that's a fail.
So a lot of water just happens.
No, it does exactly what you wanted it to. It doesn't care. It just goes right through it.
Perfect. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think like
so-
Vestian's like, go ahead of me. I'm going to try something. And he just summons water. Like the fire disappears, and he summons water in one of the holes, and just but only like a handful of rocks fall, and it's like shit.
No, a bunch of rocks fall.
Okay.
But what happened is it just like you haven't seen the thing yet,
Bulldozers past it. Yeah.
and it just goes right through it. You just see this giant fetalated snake fire monster.
No.
And that's like the first time you see it, and you can see the glow. Like you don't have light anymore. You just see the glow of its back.
Yeah.
That
didn't work. That didn't work. That didn't work. It didn't work. And he's running after you two, after the three of you.
So that's a failure, and I'm gonna say you're feeling the heat on your armor, and it's starting to burn you a little bit. Salim.
Does this work the same way other skill checks have, where if someone uses a skill, people can't use that same skill after?
Correct. But spellcasting's a little different.
Right. I'm just curious because I want to make sure we all get out of this thing. So, oh shucks.
It's very hard to die in a skill challenge.
Have you met us?
But they will find a way.
You guys have a lot of successes. You're
Except
actually
for
doing
this
pretty
one.
okay.
Oh shoot. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know what to do. Salim is just going to try another stealth roll. He's going to try to find one of those pox, one of these holes to jump into, and just kind of fade into the darkness. And hopefully this thing will go by.
Okay. Roll it.
A 21.
That is a success.
Oh, action roll into a hole.
I assume the rest of you kind of like follow suit. He's like, this is a good hole. And just barrel rolls into it. And you manage to do that. And then you see this thing go whizzing by, right? And this is the first time you guys have seen it now. So you get to see like the glimpse of its face and then like a train going by for
Nope, her eyes are closed.
5 seconds. And then you're good. You guys get to catch your breath for a second. And then you hear the breaking of more tunnel, like the melting of more tunnel, and you're like, Ren.
Is crying an action?
It is, but it automatically makes you fail.
Does she cry while she does her action?
Yes.
Okay. Do we
Big ol' anime tears.
do we hear I'm sorry. The object that Vestian is holding to point us in the correct direction. Are you still holding it?
I thought Salim
I
had
never
it.
had it.
Salim has it?
Oh yeah, the lifeless one
Yeah.
is still like ah.
I think Ren takes it and is going to try to like she'll go to take it and then realize no and then persuade him to like by kind of like reinforcing like you got this, where are we going, we got to get out of here now, please.
So you're trying to like collect him.
Yeah, but it's persuasion more than anything.
Yeah.
I think.
I'd agree.
Or she's lying to herself trying to
Trying to get everyone back on task.
Yes, we can get the hell out of here. I don't know why this isn't rolling.
It's going to roll like 10 times now.
Try to stop clicking it. Oh, it's going to be a lot.
Yep, there we go. I'm going to take the first one.
Cool. That was one of the better ones.
And that is a success.
Okay.
So you're like, because everyone's starting to panic, and you're like, okay, no, we need to, follow the sound. Don't get too lost.
She's crying, so the words that are coming out shouldn't be making sense, but they somehow are.
Don't get lost. Got it.
Cardis.
Okay, I am going to. I imagine that this rummaging and everything, and the creature, and us diving out of the way and everything like that. The tunnel's pretty messed up now.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna try and find the way back onto, use my acrobatics to kind of climb through the rubble and try and find our way back on the path.
Okay. Yeah. Roll it.
Oh, 12?
That is a failure.
Oh. It's too low. The roof's too low. My horn's bumping into the...
It's too hard for you to get real acrobatics on. You need big open spaces so you can climb on balconies and stuff. But yeah, you manage to eventually do it, and you guys get back on the path, and you keep on running. You keep on doing all the things that you've just described. Like, you try to take acrobatic paths, you use stealth, you do all that sort of stuff, and eventually you don't hear the remoras anymore, and you're like, oh. But when you as you're sort of catching your breath, the air of the path has become warm and sticky, much like the membranes that now stretch in patches across the walls. The familiar sounds of Dromant chittering surrounds you, almost laughing in their approach. And that is where we're going to call it for the night.
What's that mean? Like a good approach? A bad approach?
I need to go purge the legs from my mind.
There's so many of them.
Aww.
So many legs. Guys, that was...
Actually,
interesting.
you'll take 1 hit dice worth of damage, so you lose a hit die.
Well...
What?
Just you lose a hit die.
We all do? Oh.
Yep. That's the consequences for 4 failures.
Well, shit. 2
We
hit
got 2
die.
more.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We're fine. Everything's fine.
Unless we didn't fight it.
We're all fine. It's a good day. It's a good day to be alive. Yeah, it's like CR 11. We would have died immediately. It's got like 200 health, and it hits you for like 3d8 or some nonsense fire damage every time you hit it, which is something stupid. It's a ridiculous monster.
It's not a good fight.
Yeah, no, especially for level 3. I think if I hit it, it does equal damage to me that I die. Like, it does enough damage that I could actually die, which is awesome. So yeah, that was episode 11, I believe. That was episode 11, Chasing Myth. In this game, we were chased by Myth, which is great, and I hated every minute of it. No, that was super awesome. I love skill challenges for 4th edition. It's one of my favorite aspects of 4E, and I'm glad you pulled it over. So let's go around, do our introductions, hear from our cast, and then get the heck out of here and host a friend of ours. We'll start with Ginger Ninja. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what did you think of today's episode?
Xmas Ginger Ninja. I am here on Tuesdays for 2 or 3 more weeks. And then YouTube tomorrow night over on Saver Dice. And that's about it. I'm going to PAX Unplugged with unMade. And is anybody else going from here? Yay! We'll send you guys pictures from the convention.
It's going to be a good time.
I'll bring my horns when they're not lopsided.
Speaking of going to PAX, Bird, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what do you think of today's episode?
Hey, I'm Bird vs. Plane. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at that very same name, and I had a lot of fun. We are descending into madness and darkness 2.5 hours at a time each week, and we're coming to some kind of conclusion. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm very worried that this foursome isn't going to make it out in one piece. I think we're going. I think we got some tragedy ahead, guys. I really do. I really do.
I agree, and I'm excited, and I can't wait for it. Speaking of tragedy ahead and not being able to wait for it, Maddie, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what did you think of today's episode?
Okay, I don't know how to feel about the tragedy.
You know, I figured because you're a goth metal bard, and you know.
It's true. It's tragedy. It's a big element of my.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Mad Fishmonger. You can find me as Mad Fishmonger. Unfortunately, I will not be going to PAX. I would like to, but they hide everybody for me. Yeah, I think like Cardis is definitely, you know, she knows that she can trust them. You know, she knows that Salim and Ren and Vestian are gonna let her die or anything. But I don't know if she really knows what's gonna happen when the shit goes down. So this is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really interesting to see where everything goes and how everything plays out. I think it's really fun. It's a really interesting crew. And I think it's funny that, you know, we're still not like super bonded, like, you know, I've played in some sessions where it's like 2 games in and the whole crew are like all in love with each other, and you know, and us, we're still like, yeah, I sort of tolerate that guy, whatever.
It works though. It works.
It works. Like, we work, so why not, right?
It's true. That is true. And speaking of tolerating all of us, Ethan, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what did you think of today's episode?
Hello, I'm Super Robot Bear on Twitter, also Ethan in the real life. And in case you weren't here for the intro, I wrote this. It's a thing that you can purchase with your hands and see with your eyes. You
Nailed it.
You can buy it on DriveThruRPG. Book 1 is free. We played through that at the very beginning of the season. We're currently in book 2. Book 3 is going to be ready before the new year.
Oh yeah.
Is the plan. So you're really close. We're really close, and I'm real excited. There's some. If you guys thought all this is real nasty, book 3 had some stuff.
Well, great. If you guys want North Seat, check out that link in the description or in the chat there. And if you're in the buy-in mood, check out our sponsor, the Dice of Rolling. They're a full set of polyhedral dice featuring optimized quantities for D&D 5e. If you need to roll that fireball or that Remoraz damage, you scoop up those D6s and D8s and you throw those at your players, and they take as much damage as it lands on. Or as much damage as those dice do. With that, if you guys want to help us get our casts paid, go check out our Patreon. That is the goal over there, is to get everyone who helps the channel some money, because they devote their time to us, and we'd like to devote money to them. With that being said, let's go host and raid our friend Metamancer. She is currently doing some art. She is on our Monday show, and she was on previous shows here for a long-ass time, and she does her own tabletop content, so go check her out, and give her all of your hot, sticky raid love. And from all of us to you guys, bye-bye.